The streets can be a dangerous place, and oftentimes the reason people take up martial arts is so that they can feel comfortable going out, whether they're on their own or with their friends. This is just going to be a fairly short video giving you some advice or tips on how to stay as safe as possible when you're out in the street. First of all, if your flexibility and kicks are not where you want them to be, then my flexibility program is exactly what you need. This program literally contains my secret formula for high kicks. So if you were ever wondering how I achieved my flexibility and my kicking ability, it's all in this program. First link in the description, go and get those effortless kicks. Now there are some tips that are pretty obvious, I would say, you know, like don't walk around with a large sum of cash taped to your forehead because you will probably get mugged. All jokes aside, I'm just going to run through a few tips that could help you in certain situations. Now firstly, maybe someone has come up to you and asked for the time. Don't do anything yet because they might actually just want the time. But you know, if they're persistent, you've told them the time and they're not going away, they're kind of maybe getting up into your personal space a little bit, you feel a bit uncomfortable, then what you want to do is take a defensive stance kind of with your hands and feet. So feet maybe just shoulder width apart, side on a little bit so you've got a bit of leverage if you need to move in either direction. Have your hands up in like a defensive position so you don't look aggressive to any like witnesses or anything any people that are watching, if there are any. And if you've got your hands down here, you know, you're not looking aggressive, but if you need to, you know, you can throw stuff from here, you can throw punches or kicks if you needed to throw any kicks. But my number one rule, you know, if they're not going away, run away. Never ever try and fight if you don't need to. If someone is making you feel uncomfortable and they're maybe being a little bit aggressive, just get away, turn around and go. It's not worth it. It's absolutely not worth fighting at all, because he could have some friends around the corner that you don't know about, and if you're on your own, it's hard to fight against, you know, more than one person. It's hard to fight against one person, let alone more than one. But let's say you've been cornered into like a corner, or there's walls around you, you can't run away. Now you have to fight. But the difference is here, you're not fighting to win, you are fighting to survive, right? So play dirty. What you should not do is start throwing kicks like that. Excuse that kick, I haven't stretched. My last stretching session was about 10 hours ago, but feeling a bit stiff. But if you don't want to feel stiff, go get that flexibility program, first link in description, you know, had to plug it there. Anyway, never ever try and do those flashy kicks in a fight. Like you might have an image in your head of, oh, I'm gonna do some 540 spin kicks, 360s, tornadoes. You won't do that. If it comes to it, you will not pull that out of the bag. You've got to just be simple and effective. So if you have to fight, you know, groin strikes, punch them in the throat, poke them in the eye, literally do anything. If they've grabbed you, bite them, rip chunks out of their arm, do whatever you've got to do. Again, you're only fighting until you've got a little gap that you can run through, basically. You're in a corner, right, you've hit him with a groin strike, he's gone down because it really hurts, because you know, it really hurts being hit there. He's buckled to his knees, he can't get up, you've curb stomped him. No, I'm joking, that just run away. Now, if they've got a weapon of some kind, this is where it gets a bit juicy, you know, it's a bit where it gets a bit ropey. Juicy is not the right word, sorry. Dodgy is what I meant. Now, again, if you're in any kind of situation with any kind of weapons, go, get out. Cannot stress this enough. You don't be a hero and try and disarm someone with a knife, because they're not gonna stand there like they do in those videos, you know, where someone stands there and they hit it out of their hand. They're not just gonna stand there, they're gonna go, you're just gonna get stabbed. But for example, if they've got, let's say, a baseball bat, so a nice, big, long, powerful bat, don't know where that was going. With something like that, it's not like a sharp edge, you know, it's like blunt force. You want to get on the inside of that. If they've gone for a big swing, for example, you want to duck under and get on the inside. Now this might not seem like it's what you should do, but if someone is right under you, right on top of you there, and you've got a bat, you can't hit them from there really, you've got nothing. And then once you're in there, you want to maybe throw them to the floor, get them off you, and then again, there's your space to go. So all you're doing here, you're not trying to beat them up, you're trying to get them out of your way so you can go. That's the whole point of this. The whole point of being in the street and being safe. If someone attacks you, you're not fighting, you're surviving. Next, if they've got a blade or a knife of some sort, now that is a sticky one. That's a tough one because obviously, I mean, any weapon is dangerous, but it gets a bit scary when they pull out a blade. What I would personally do here is not what I said to do last time with the baseball bat. You don't want to get inside with that. If you've got a knife and someone's there, you can still stab them very easily, so don't get inside. With this one, you want to do the opposite, keep them at a distance. Let's just say it's like a kitchen knife, I don't know, about that long. Don't know, you know, just typical stabbing. That was a really weird movement. So they're pointing a little knife at you. Keep them at your distance. So this is where I would maybe use some kicks. Say the bag is the attacker. I would maybe use a front kick, push them away, you know, keep them away from you, because if you can keep someone at your leg's length away, they can't stab you from there. For example, if that's the attacker and I'm keeping him at that distance, he can't stab me from there. He can get my leg. I'd rather get a cut on my leg than internal bleeding. So yeah, with a blade, it is just about keeping them away from you. Again, if you're backed into a corner and you can't run, the idea of that is just protect the vital areas. Put your hands in the way. Again, you'd rather get a blade through the hand than through the stomach. So hands in the way, legs in the way, you know, keep them at a distance. Next, if they've got a firearm, now that that is a very tough one. At that point, just do whatever they say. Like if they're asking you to give them your wallet, your phone, just give it to them. It's not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it. You know, like money, wallet, phone, that can all be replaced, but your lung can't be, well, I suppose your lung could be replaced, but not the point really. It's just about keeping safe really. You'd have to be very unfortunate to end up in a dark alleyway with no one around, with someone pointing a gun at you. Honestly, probably quite hard to end up, but if you are, just give them whatever they want, and then afterwards call the police, do all that business. Again, these tips are not about fighting, they're about surviving. You don't fight on the street, just trying not to get severely life-threateningly injured, pretty much. It's not like MMA, it's not like boxing. You're not fighting to win, you're fighting to live. But again, one of my biggest tips to give you would be just try not to put yourself in those situations where that can happen. For example, London, very high crime rate, loads of pickpocketers, you know, loads of muggings, stuff like that. Don't go out in dangerous areas like that with a watch on your wrist that costs as much as your mortgage. That is like dropping blood into shark-infested waters. That's kind of silly in my opinion. Lower the chances of it happening. Obviously, yeah, you can say, oh, just tell the criminals to stop doing bad things, but telling them to stop mugging people is not going to make them stop mugging people. You've got to educate yourself on how to best deal with them, because they're never going to stop. So you've got to help prevent it. But I hope this video has kind of helped some of you out. I mean, I felt like I was kind of stating the obvious throughout that, but even if it's helped 2 of you out, then that's good enough for me. Again, first link in the description if you want to get my 12-week flexibility program, get those effortless kicks. Send me your progress as well. I like to see it when you guys send me your progress, because I know personally how hard it is to improve yourself like that. So I feel good when I see that you guys are doing it too. Benefits everyone. So first link in the description, go get that. Also, thank you very much for 800,000 subscribers. That is ridiculous. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button now. Now we're on the road to 1 million. We're going to try and get there before the end of the year. We'll see if we can do it. It's quite a push, but I'm hoping we can get there. Please drop a like on this video. It does help me out more than you could imagine. Drop a comment. Let me know what you thought of the video, if you'd like to see more stuff like this. And if you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. I will see you in the next video.